So NFTs are these sort of original pieces of digital something. Where do you, if you buy one, I understand there's like special place to store them. So how do you, if I, say for example, I brought a Supreme sort of ski suit or some Gucci sunglasses or whatever for my avatar, where do I keep that so that, I don't lose it?
Good question. So there are places to keep that. So Coinbase, you might have heard of a company called Coinbase. Coinbase is a great way to buy and exchange currencies. There's other applications called Ledger. Ledger is an actual physical good, which you might have heard of, as another way to store it, and they can kind of keep that locked away for you, keep it safe, keep it secure. But that's how you would own items that are in the blockchain, is you would be able to have these applications that are going to store your value, and you can access it, and you could also see that value go up. So let's just say you store something on one of these sites, you'll be able to say, hey, I bought this for X, and now it's worth Y.
Okay. And a couple of things that seem to have moved very, very quickly is fashion. So, there's Gucci and a number of other brands on there. Do you think that there's also cars that seem to, you can get like digital versions of cars. I saw McLaren and Lamborghini and people like that. So are there any, do you think in terms of coming back to sort of traditional business, are there any things that you think work particularly well from NFTs? Because I suppose what you're outside of the art side, which I think is slightly different. Are you mainly creating things around your digital avatar? So is that how you look and what you drive and maybe the house? Are those sort of some of the popular things that are starting in this type of space where you're buying stuff in this metaverse?
Yes, absolutely. So I think we might have talked about this on the boat as well, but luxury goods, luxury items, Louis Vuitton, Hermes, Chanel. When you look at the Birkin bag as an example, why is it so valuable, right? A part of it is because it's handcrafted and there's craftsmanship and time that goes into it. But the other part of it is that it's scarce, that Hermes will only make so much of this bag. You look at luxury watches, same thing, right? That's a controlled product. The output of it, and they've created scarcity out of it. The metaverse is the same as well. So when you look at your avatar and you want to buy that Supreme, shirt, or you want to buy a luxury good, or you want to get the car, there's only limited quantities of it. And what makes the metaverse unique is if you think about buying the digital McLaren before Web3, someone can copy it. There's really no value there. But when you get it in the metaverse, through the blockchain, you could limit to say there's going to be exactly 5 of these made, and that's it. So that will increase the value of that product over time.
I was reading some. It was on Forbes actually, and there was a lady that said that between, and they said this could be optimistic, but between 5 and 15% of your wardrobe one day could be a digital wardrobe.
That's incredible. I did not read that, but that would not surprise me.
And there was somewhere where it was. I've got it written here. The sort of value of the fashion. I'll put it up in a minute, but there was like I didn't realize like how quickly, I've got it on this NFT somewhere, how quickly the amount of money that people were spending on this whole, that was it. So, I thought I wrote it down, but it was, here we go. Yeah, NFT. So this was, so NFTs in 2020, it was about $100 million business. In 2021, $22 billion.
Wow.
And they reckon that by 2030, it'll be worth $240 billion. And I think the fashion component of that was pretty significant. It was in the billions. So it just the jump from like 2020, which is 100 million, to 2021, which is actual numbers. Like it's a $22 billion industry,
it's a significant industry. Significant.
Which is crazy. Like how much people are paying for these digital versions of themselves. But then when I started to think about it, like if that was incorporated into something like Facebook or Instagram or whatever, the amount of money that people pay for status on there and how they look, I could then kind of understand, well, if you could afford to build your page and have something that no one else has, or a unique page, or one of 50, I could see why people would start to pay for something.
Yeah, and I mean, and this is just this is just the start of, like I said, I still think we're a good 5-10 years away from mass adoption of Web3, but it is coming, and the flywheel has already started.
Yeah, yeah. The other thing that I was reading about is it's interoperable, which I believe it means that it kind of it crosses different types of platforms. Now, when I started to look at the big players in the market, so you obviously got Microsoft, which I didn't realize how big they were. You know, they've got, I didn't know too much about games, but apparently they own Minecraft, which is one of the biggest games. And then Microsoft versus Meta, which is Facebook, who in the gaming world, they're known for Farmville, which apparently isn't anywhere near the sort of same kind of quality. So you've got these two big players, which is Microsoft and Facebook. And then the other sort of third player is Apple, which seems to have taken a slightly different approach, which we can come on to. But how then, you know, in your view, if, say, for example, you buy $1,000 pair of Gucci shoes and you're in the sort of Microsoft Minecraft world, can you transfer this across all these different platforms, or do you see it that it's still going to be relatively siloed, so that, okay, well, you're either in this group or this group, and like your Android or your Apple? What's your thoughts on that?
So Minecraft itself and Farmville aren't actually built on top of the blockchain, even though they're part of the metaverse. So we'll view them as part of the Web3 family, but those particular products are not built on top of the blockchain.
Okay,
so
what does that mean then?
It's a little different. So I think when you're looking at NFTs in particular that are created on top of the blockchain, they have inherent value that could be transferred, right? So they're not tied within a walled garden. Those games, if you buy, and I'm not a player of Minecraft or Farmville, but if you buy a product and upgrade within that, there's really no value on something that you buy in Minecraft that you can take over to Farmville.
Okay.
But if you're in the metaverse, in the actual metaverse, and let's say you want to take your Gucci bag from metaverse A to metaverse B, you could do that, and its value gets transferred with you, at least.
I'm with you.
Right. Now, the value of that Gucci bag might be worth differently in metaverse A than metaverse B.
Okay.
Right, where maybe other things are more valued, but at least there is a value, and you could that's what the interoperation of the metaverse means, is that the Web3 is very much of an open world. Web2, like even if you had, let's say, all of your profile on Facebook, you can't just transfer it over into another sort, into like LinkedIn, right? You have to exist independent of each other.
Okay.
In the metaverse or with the blockchain, you could have your single profile that's carried across multiple applications.